This podcast is about the acceptance stage of grieving. Many times I will see parents call my office or maybe come to my office feeling some level of anger towards their narcissistic ex. Because maybe in their mind, or they feel that everything for the narcissist is just falling into place, And unfortunately, it can be hard to separate, especially if you have children with the narcissistic ex. I know many times people just want to stop feeling angry and be able to move on, but how can you do this when you have maybe children with the ex? A lot of people have been there. Some people feel rage pouring out of themselves. It can be very consuming, exhausting, very futile, and sadly an inevitable and important part of the grieving process that you have to go through. The good news is that you can get past it. But the harder you try to force yourself to stop feeling what you're feeling and move on, the longer it's going to take for that to happen. This is all about acceptance. Part of it is acceptance of what you feel, whether it's you felt hurt, unbelievable hurt, you felt insulted, you felt humiliated at being replaced, bewildered, felt desperation, or maybe jealousy for their new supply. You feel loss. Now, coming out of a relationship with a narcissist involves basically all of the most unpleasant feelings one can possibly feel, and all of them are hitting you at once. The other part of this is acceptance of what the narcissist actually is. The narcissist is an actor, a liar, a user, a manipulator, a mirror, a void, a crafter of the most convincing illusions. And then there's the acceptance of what narcissism or narcissistic personality disorder actually is. It's a lifelong disorder, one which infects everything that the narcissist does or doesn't do, think, say, or feel. The narcissist is broken and will always be broken. From the outside looking in at the narcissist, things will always look like they are falling into place for the narcissist. Because remember, the narcissist is a master of illusion. They are innately skilled crafter of illusion. And one of the most important things for the narcissist to uphold is a false image for the world or public to see. There really is no reason for you to be angry. Once you accept that everything about this narcissist is just a bunch of fake images playing on a projector, you saw the real narcissist. You lived with that person. You maybe had children with that person. You saw the real one, not the side that the narcissist wants you to see or that shows to the public. Quite often, it's a pathologically disordered person. They cannot see their own disorder and not doing anything to try to repair their own behavior. That's why they are doomed to repeat their patterns and cycles within all of their future interpersonal relationships throughout their entire life, forever, period. No matter what images the narcissist projects to the outside world, they will always be doomed to repeat their patterns and cycles. Unfortunately, it's easy to come to a realization and say that you know that the narcissist is all of these things. But you have to accept and Believe this truth wholeheartedly, without a doubt, before your mind can let go of the unpleasant emotions you're feeling. Once you've accepted the truth, it's only natural for all of these feelings to subside. Because most of your emotions are still intertwined with false images and illusions that the narcissist had crafted for you. Fake futures that you believed in, etc. You can only be free of those emotions once your mind accepts the most ugly and horrible truth of what the narcissist actually is. Oftentimes, we always try to think that logic cannot compete with emotion. But I have found the opposite to be true. In the case of a recovery from a narcissistic relationship, your emotions cannot compete with the logical conclusion. The logical conclusion is that based on everything that you have seen, that you've read, that you have learned about narcissists and narcissistic personality disorder, is that your ex-partner never existed because there never was a partnership. You were duped by a con man. Maybe after accepting this for the most part, hopefully you're now coming to peace with it. That's when the anger will fade and the all-consuming love and the addiction to the illusion will also fade. Any jealousy we feel towards the pitiable new supply will fade, and we really begin to move on. So yes, to conclude, the anger you are feeling is completely valid and natural, and it will pass as you begin to fully accept the truth. You cannot force it to stop, but the more you read about narcissism and how these creatures function, the faster you will get to true acceptance, freedom from their existence, influencing your emotions, and ultimately moving on. I hope this podcast has helped you in your journey towards acceptance. Thank you for listening. Please consider subscribing.